recording laundry and dropping all of your players off of your fantasy team.
Yeah, dude, that was my last act of protest.
So are you kicked out of the league yet or what?
No, forget. Like, no one really said anything. One of my buddies was like, Some of these waiver claims are not like the others." Um, but that was pretty much the only comment anyone made. All those guys will be on waivers until Friday, so I'm interested to see if anybody actually bids on them and tries to pick them up, or if in their active protest they just leave them on the wire.
So you're not the
I
only one
would.
protesting?
Oh,
Yeah,
no, no, no. No, no, no. But what I'm saying is they might just be like, all right, well, that's stupid, but we're not picking up his players. They might, you know what I'm saying? Like they might just be like, oh, we can do that, but it doesn't matter.
Oh man.
But I would be surprised if no one tries to pick up some of
I
those
mean,
guys.
I don't give a crap. I'd try to pick them all up. If they were better players than the players I currently have, I would try to pick up every single person. I'm not even going to try to pretend. I was just saying that if I was the commissioner, I'd boot you from the league for that. But
Oh,
I
that's
would
fine. I
also
don't
be
think I'll
trying
play with
to
these guys again.
pick up those players. I would try to pick up those players, but in my money league, my commissioner would have kicked you out of the league and then auto reversed all of your drops, put them
Yeah.
all back on your team, and then just set the lineup and let it ride for the rest of the postseason, basically.
Yeah, yeah, that's what a good commissioner would do. My commissioner suddenly decided to change the rules in the middle of the playoffs.
no, he didn't change the rules. The
No, he
league voted
literally
against
did.
the trade, and he went with
No,
the league. Right? Isn't that what you
no,
said?
no. What happened was we had a trade deadline that was set for week 14,
Yeah.
and I made a trade before that deadline,
Uh-huh.
and then for the first time all season, he took like a poll basically on whether a trade this late in the season should be allowed. And it's like, dude, we've known the deadline the entire season. Like, why are we doing this now? Like, just to stop my trade from going through. Like
But
they,
weren't you trading with the commissioner?
yeah, and I was literally trading with the commissioner too.
Okay.
It was freaking insane.
So wait, so okay, so because you're saying different things. I'm not. You're saying different things than what happened previously in the conversation. So the way I understood it was because like every league is pretty much universally the same way. A trade is submitted. The commissioner can come over the top and veto the trade if they think it is collusion or yada yada yada. But also, every league has the other people in the league can vote on the trade. You had made it sound like they saw the trade, was like, no, that's a bullshit trade, and don't do the trade, and that's what happened. So now you're saying he went to the league and said, "Hey, is it still cool to do a trade this late, even though it was already a rule?" And the league said, "No, no trade," and then he backed off the trade. That's what you're
So,
saying now.
so we didn't have trade voting. There's no
Okay.
trade voting in this league
Okay.
because there had definitely been some trades throughout the year that would not have gone through if we had trade voting.
Okay.
Um, so literally at no point any season, no matter what the trade was there any conversation about whether anything should be allowed or anything like that. And then it's literally as I make this trade at the end of the season, which I would have won my playoff matchup if I was allowed to make this trade, and instead I lost and I'm out of the playoffs. Um, so I don't know. I feel
Here's
like
what I'm trying to understand. You traded with the commissioner. So the commissioner approved the trade.
right.
And then after the commissioner approved the trade, he then sent a poll out to the league. Are we still allowed to trade? And they all said no.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, because that's way different than what you said last time. Because what you said last time made it sound like they didn't like the players you were getting,
Oh,
and
no, no,
made
no. It never had anything to do with the players.
okay,
It was always about the timing of the trade and
okay.
the fact that he was a non-playoff team and that I was a playoff team. Like those were the things where everyone was like, "This is stupid" and blah blah blah. And I don't know. I had literally made a trade like the week before, with a non-playoff team, and no one said anything.
All
Also,
right.
what kind of league doesn't have veto votes to to veto a trade? Like that's weird.
Yeah, I mean, I've played in a lot of leagues that don't have it. It really comes down to like whether one, it's a thing of like whether we trust that everybody is actually putting in like a good faith effort into the season and not just trying to like blow stuff up like what I just did. Um, like making sure that like your league mostly is people that aren't going to do stuff like that. They're not going to just like, empty the bench off their team to take the best players off someone else and like that's just going to go through. Like there's that, and then you also trust like your commissioner is going to like keep the league in balance and in check. Um and so like that's usually the leagues that I've played in is like the commissioner kind of keeps it in check and keeps things from getting like too out of control. Um
How do you know
because
these guys?
these guys, these are some of you remember Levi?
Yeah.
These are some of Levi's buddies that I've played fantasy football with a couple of them before, um, and it was fine. But no, freaking,
Is
I don't
Levi
know.
in the league?
Yeah, yeah, he's in the league. He's the one who made the comment about the waiver claims being a little different.
Wow. Is he the commissioner?
No, it's our buddy Cam, um, but who's a good friend of Levi's. But even Levi was like, dude, he's like, that was freaking stupid. He's like, that was so dumb. He's like, there's no reason that trade shouldn't have gone through. Like, everyone's being freaking stupid.
Dude, of course Levi's league has the most drama.
Oh yeah, of course, dude. And it was funny too because after like when that trade happened, it was like a full day of just like discourse in the freaking chat of everybody talking about it. And there were a couple people who were like, dude, this is the most like unhinged, ridiculous league I've ever played in.
That is savage. Yeah, we in my money leagues that we do baseball and football, there we have one guy who's pretty volatile and like he's pulled this move that you've pulled um in three separate occasions he's pulled this. All different seasons. He's done it a couple times in football and he did it once in baseball. And he always ends up quitting and he pulls some crap like that and then he's like back the next year, you know. So
Yeah.
there is coming back from it, but um for sure done for the rest of the year. That
Yeah, yeah, my season's over. I don't even think I'm in the third place game, but we're not doing anything for third place. So it's just people in the championship winning anything. So I'm like, all
gotcha.
right, dude, there's nothing to be gained left. Let's just throw a little chaos in the mix here.
Oh man, that's savage. I love that level of petty though. That's amazing. Absolutely incredible.
Good
Hollywood,
stuff, dude.
how's your fantasy league doing? Are you
Uh,
still paying for first pick?
no, no. I made the playoffs by the skin of my teeth, and then I curb stomped the guy I played in the first round, and so now I'm in the second round. Now I play his wife in the second round.
You're in the
Who's it?
semis?
What? Yeah, I'm in the semis. I curb stomped the guy. I was the fourth seed, so I won my get into the game. But like I think I won that by like basically barely won it or won by like a few points. I don't think I beat him too bad. Maybe I did. I just don't remember. And then the guy, then the you guys saw the score at that particular moment where I was like, oh, it was debating between Joe Burrow and Drake May. And I was like, Burrow always plays. And I completely forgot about his, like, fuck Cincinnati, I don't want to be here anymore comment, where I shouldn't have played him based off of that comment. Like, it was funny. Like, I had a chance. I could have tried to trade him and just played May, or tried to trade May and kept Burrow. But like, I'm glad I didn't, because maybe if somebody wanted May more, I would have kept Burrow as more of an upside because he's a top four quarterback in the league. So like I said, I curb stomped the guy last week. That's the sorry, actually, the guy I curb stomped is the commissioner of our league, one of my really good friends, and but I killed him, and now I play his wife in the next round. Um, so we'll see
Dude,
how
how
that
did
goes.
you
And
just
she's a good friend of mine too. So
how did you just barely make the playoffs. Like, can
Oh,
you?
correction. I did curb stomp the guy who's my buddy Doug to get in the playoffs. I beat him by 30 points, but I was favored to lose the whole time, and then like his people just stopped before like no showed, like uh, like he had Ibuka who did 2.5 points, Ingram who did 1.8 points. He was starting Pacheco. He had 3 points. Uh, Parker Washington from Jacksonville. He gave him no points. So that's
Dude,
why
this
I beat
guy's
him.
lineup is ass.
Can
Yeah,
you can
this
you
guy.
can you pull up a screen share? I want to see his team.
Wait. This is the guy beating the which round? Oh no, because ESPN is a different ESPN on my laptop than on my phone.
Uh,
Because the account on my account on my computer is a different email than the account on my thing. So no, I would have to just take screenshots and send it to you guys. If you want to do that, I could do that.
Doesn't sound like a very noteworthy squad if he's starting Isaiah
Isaiah
Pacheco and
Pacheco.
Parker
Yeah,
Washington.
well,
Oh
that was to get in
man.
the playoffs. So to answer your question, the reason why was because I made the trade, and Barkley has done absolutely nothing except for last week. He got 15 points, but really that was one run. And Henderson is, for whatever reason, I keep hearing the same thing whenever I watch sports talk shows or listen to any clips. Apparently, everybody but Josh McDaniels doesn't realize that Trayvon Henderson is a better running back than Rashad Stevenson, and Stevenson gets all the carries most of the time, not Henderson. And this last game against the Patriots they played the Bills. He got me those 2 long runs, and if he didn't give me those runs, obviously I still win pretty comfortably. But he broke 30 points in round one, and like those points don't exist in a normal in the previous weeks. So literally after
Well,
Scatterbrew got hurt, because Scatterbrew played, and when he proved he was better than Tracy, he was getting all the snaps. Him breaking his leg literally, arguably, that could be the point my season derailed right there. The
Yeah.
trade didn't help. The trade didn't help dumping my one reliable running back to try to get a running back that I hoped would pop in Barkley and a major upgrade at quarterback, not knowing Burrow was going to come back or not. Um, Basically, take my season. Kind of, sort of, almost take my season,
That's a
and
10
so
man
that's
league,
why.
right?
What? It's a
It's a 10
12-man
man
league.
league,
12.
12-man league.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
hate 12. I hate 12-man leagues, but it's a
And
12-man
Pacheco
league.
is starting. Pacheco isn't even starting in my 14-man league. And
Remember
don't you
the
have and don't you have super flex in that
No,
league?
we don't have super flex. So we only currently have 2 flex spots. I broached the issue. So we have 2 running backs, 3 receivers, which I don't like either, and now 2 flexes, but no super flex. I broached the subject with the commissioner to take away the third receiver, make a third flex, or with a possibility of making it a super flex. Since everybody already carries 2 QBs, the only issue is if you do a super flex, there might be more of a run on QBs, so QBs get overvalued in our league has always been an over. You have to draft them soon. You basically have to draft it round sooner than you should because of the snake. Like if Ben wants somebody, Ben knows. Oh well, even though he should get to my next pick, that's 20 some odd people I have to wade through. I might as well take him now and guarantee I get him, then hope he lasted 20 some odd picks. So everybody kind of drafts early in our league. So maybe doing Superflex wouldn't work because there'd be more run on QB. I would just I'd rather drop the third receiver and just do 2 flexes, or if we're going to keep that extra spot, make it a third flex and then it could be a super flex, or maybe just a third flex because then it could be running back, receiver, et cetera, et cetera. Like I just feel like trying to find receivers has been a nightmare, to be honest, in this league.
What position don't you do? Didn't you 86 defense?
We 86 defense and kicker.
Yeah,
We
like,
don't do
or you could
defense.
just have defenses and kickers like a normal league.
Well, the thing was is the commissioner we voted and the league was like, no, let's get rid of this. So the commissioner voted to the league. Um, I get the kick. Well, actually, to me, the thing is I don't think kicker matters in a fantasy league because you could get lucky and have a game like Seattle where the guy gets you 18 points. And I don't know if he kicked in our league, for example, you get an extra point for a 40-yarder, extra point for a 50-yarder. I think you get 2 points for a 50-yarder, so maybe there's more points there. So maybe kicker, but defense it's just so hit or miss. Like that's why I was saying to you, like, do you have another defense? Like granted, I know the last game was close, but if the Rams put one on like I've won and lost games just based off of the defense, and I was playing a good defense most of the
Yeah,
time.
it happens. It happens.
So
And I would argue you win and lose just as many weeks based on a running back or a receiver or a tight
that is
end or
that
like
is that is
I
true.
I in one of my leagues I would have won if I started Kyle Pitts. And then in all my other leagues I freaking played Kyle Pitts and lost by a shitload because there's a 44 spot sitting in the tight end spot.
Yeah.
I mean I've had weeks where like I picked up who ended up being the number one kicker that week, and it was like a huge part of me winning.
Yeah.
I don't know, like I there's three teams in football. There's three facets to the game. There's offense, defense, and special teams. If we could put punters in fantasy football, I would do it.
Oh, that would be epic, dude.
Fucking punt yards inside the 20, freaking
See that I would be a little
penalties for
bit more open for
touchbacks.
because well, I mean, if the same way, then a return for a touchdown has to kind of count as an interception or a fumble or something like that.
Oh yeah, I
But
mean you could also add in. I mean I loved leagues I played in that had return yards because especially as it gets deeper through that like running back and wide receiver pool, being
Yeah.
able to like have one of these guys that could pop. Like I remember one season I had like Devin Hester on my team, even when he was
yeah,
playing for the Falcons. But
yeah.
he was returning kicks and he had like I don't know 1,000 return yards that year, and it made him like a legitimate like flex all year long.
Mm, hmm.
Well, hell, I might play Devin Hester just because of the fact that he could get you a TD or two a week. Yeah, no, I've always thought for if you're gonna count return touchdowns, you should count receiving yards. I'm not sorry, return yards for a player because
Yeah,
it just makes no like a guy could return one to the one and you get nothing for that. But
yeah.
like, oh, if he got one more, you know what I mean? So I've always been on that thing that if you're gonna give return touchdowns, you should give return yardage.
Yeah, I don't know. I would love to play in a league that like really like I don't know, puts value on guys that play all over the field in that
Well,
way.
well,
Like
well. In fairness to what we're currently doing, you should just build the league and reach out to your friends
dude,
and
I've
see who wants to
started
be.
I've started doing one. I don't know that I've like worked out all the quirks in the scoring yet because I'm trying to but I've been messing with it, trying to figure it out. Because like it's something I'm pitching in I'm gonna be pitching over the summer in my dynasty league.
Yeah,
That I want like I love playing in leagues where defenses like actually score and they're more volatile.
yeah,
Like the way that I have this one that I've been working on set up is like I think the Seattle Seahawks end up being like the number like 11 overall fantasy player or something like that. The Texans are like a top 20, 25, fantasy asset. Like it actually brings like it puts such a value. Like the one year I did it like this, I remember having the Cowboys defense. They ended up being like a top 3 player on the year, and they could just go for 30 points any game, just like Christian McCaffrey or JSN or one of these other guys. It was awesome.
We
that reminds
definitely
me
need
of
to know that going into the draft
yeah.
for sure.
Yes. Oh, 100%. Yeah. Yeah. Cause you've got to like, and that's the thing too, is like doing stuff like that where it almost like makes each position like less, I don't know, less of a difference in like priority over each position where it's like, yeah, it's like I, it's like maybe I didn't get a top 5 quarterback, but I got a top 3 defense, and that's going to score just as much.
Hmm. Hmm. It almost makes him like a tight end position where like after Travis Kelce and
Well, hell,
Sam
after Trey
Laporta.
McBride, there's a 100-point gap between Trey McBride and the next guy.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So it's like the defense turns into the new tight end where there's like two or three viable options, and then it's just the shitter after that.
Yep. And you're streaming and playing matchups, and if you pick it right, you could pick out a 30-point week out of a team, a 40-point week. I think with the scoring I'd set up, because I always look to see, like, I don't know what the ceiling is, because it'll show you on Sleeper, it'll show you like what the season, like, you can look at the game log and it'll put in, it'll factor in the way your league scores it. And so I think that was it that Seahawks game a couple weeks ago where they had like two touchdowns, like 4 or 5 turnovers, whatever it
Yep.
was. Like,
Yep.
I think that was like a 55-point game or something like that. Which is like, dude, when you allow 3 points, 6 points, whatever it was, you take the ball away 5 times, you score twice on defense, you get 7 or 8 sacks, like
Hmm.
fourth down stops, tackles for loss. Like, that's as impressive as Jameer Gibbs going for 180, 200 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yep. Agreed. So what's your matchup looking like this week, Hollywood? Are you feeling good about it? Are you headed to the ship or what?
So, oh wow, it flipped. It was 51-49 her. Now it's 52-48 me. I didn't change anything, so I guess something happened. But no, I'm not feeling good. She has Gibbs, I have Montgomery, and something's happened with the Lions where they don't give a crap about David Montgomery anymore, and he doesn't really get touches, he doesn't really get in, and all that stuff. So it really gets down to Gibbs. If Gibbs has a huge game, I'm probably screwed. If Gibbs doesn't have a huge game, then I'll probably be okay. So it really gets down to Gibbs, and they're playing Pittsburgh. Looks like.
Who do you
Um,
got in the tight end spot?
I have Gobert as my starting tight end,
And
and
she has
she has Parkinson from the Rams.
okay,
Okay.
it's kind of a wash. Quarterbacks?
She has Jalen Hurts. I have Drake May.
So your floor is probably higher, but Jalen Hurts could do one of his like two rushing TDs, two passing
Yeah.
TDs.
Yeah,
Yeah. She's got the more volatile option there, probably higher upside.
yeah. So her running backs are Gibbs and Brown. Mine are Montgomery and Barkley. Her receivers are Pickens, Jerome Williams from the Lions, and then Michael Wilson from the Cardinals. Mine are St. Brown, DJ Moore, and then Jacoby Myers from the Jaguars. It's got my tight end is Gobert, hers is Parkinson, like I said. And then flexes of mine are Henderson and Dalbo. Hers are Adeline Mitchell and then Michael Carter.
Huh, I
All
like your
right.
flexes
Oh,
better.
yeah, I was gonna say your flex is like the only spot where you're um, like definitely on the better end of it. The receivers are, I mean, iffy. I mean, Jacoby Myers has been really, really nice since he's actually like found a rhythm with the
Yeah.
Jags.
I mean,
Um,
these are his last 4 games, and I basically picked him up around that point. 12 points against Arizona, 18.3 points against Tennessee, 12.8 against Jacksonville, and 9.6 last week. So he's been decent. DJ Moore has been incredibly inconsistent, but he did get me 20 points last week. But the week before that, he had point 1 points. Week before that, 3.7. I didn't even play him for his 20-point game against Pittsburgh because he had not been. Maybe I did play him. I don't remember, but I don't think I did. She has Williams from the Lions, and he's been scoring points. So, like, it feels like every time the Lions have a big game, it's Gibbs and Williamson, and anytime they don't really have a big game, it's St. Brown and Montgomery. Like they both had 20 point. I think Montgomery had
I
15
was gonna say
last game.
Brown had like 40.
Not in my league. Um,
Was it Amon Ra? He had like
yeah.
160 yards and like two
No, he only
touchdowns, I
he only
think.
had like one touchdown last week. I thought.
Dude, he had a
He,
massive game last week.
I'm not saying like I said, I was saying he got like 25 points. I didn't say he didn't have a massive game. I'm just saying.
Let's see. Yeah, dude, give me 41.4. He was 13 catches, 164 yards, and two touchdowns.
Well, that's okay. 34.9. Okay, I was off. I
Went
thought he had in
off.
the yeah, I thought he had in the 20s, but
Amon Ra is the reason you curb stomped Bro
well, I
last
don't know. I
week,
curb
dude.
stomped the guy because these were the points scored. This
And
was the point.
Travion.
Yeah. So he got me. He got me at QB with the nice 5.5 points I got from Burrow. He got 11.96 from Prescott. McCaffrey got him 15.2. Montgomery got me 9.2. And then I think I boat raced him everywhere else. Yeah, I boat raced him at pretty well. Jacoby Myers didn't boat race the not that much. So Barkley was 16.2 to 3.2 for Quinyon Jenkins. St. Brown was 34.9 to 15.1 for Brian Thomas Jr. DJ Moore was 20.9 versus McMillan, sorry, the Panthers guy. That he was 3.5. Jacoby Myers had 9.6. He had Watson for to 4.4. Gobbert had 22 points to 8.5 for Hannon Jr. And then Henderson had 33.1 to he had RJ Henry or Harvey, sorry, for from the Broncos and he had 10.5, and then Dowell had 11.9 to 3.1 for Zach Colbert from your boys. That's why I curb stomped him.
Yeah,
I
his
had
lineup
20.
was ass.
Yeah,
Yikes.
but
How
yeah,
are
his
you
team.
looking, Tuck?
Yeah,
You're in the semis too.
Yep, I'm in the semis. I'm in the semis. So here was my matchup last week, barely eking him out by 3.7 points. Basically, the only reason why it was almost as close as it was is because Jason Myers had fucking 24 points out of the kicker
Yeah.
spot for
yeah.
for his team. I was tripping watching that game, dude. I was
Because you wanted to
absolutely tripping.
win, but you're like, stop kicking field goals.
Exactly. And then going into Monday night, I had Aaron Jones and he had Jordan Addison. And Jordan Addison scored all 7.6 of his points in like the second quarter. And Aaron Jones hadn't really done much at that point. And then coming out of halftime, Aaron Jones ripped off a couple big runs. Jordan Addison had zero receptions in the second half. And when it got down to like the last 2 minutes, I was like, okay, I think I got this in the bag. So
Dude,
that was last week.
it's a nice
And
clutched up win. Did Stroud end up being your highest scoring quarterback?
yes, he did. So this is this week. He's favored 53 to 47. So he's got the edge kind of in most of the positions other than receivers. I'm really hoping for AJ Brown and JSN and Scary Terry to have good games. But I mean, he's got the clear advantage at running back. Jonathan Taylor and Jalen Warren. Nico Collins could go off, but I'm hoping to offset that with CJ Stroud. And I don't think Kyle Pitts has another 40 burger in him.
Probably not. And Marvin Harrison has been, I don't know, wildly like underwhelming all year long. And Michael Wilson has like really emerged as like
Yep.
Brissett's top option after McBride.
Yeah. I picked up Jawar Jordan and Krosky Merritt.
Dude, I just picked up Jawar Jordan too in my dynasty league, just because like my season's over, and so I'm like I just need to like grab some guys that might either one like guys that might like go off the last couple weeks of the season and would be nice to like have on the roster going into next season.
Hmm.
And then also too, I've got Woody Marks, and it seems like Chubb and Mixon are both kind of on their way down and out. And so
Yeah.
if one of these two guys ends up being really solid, or if both of them end up being good, even better. But it should be a that Texans offense should be so much better than it is.
Agreed. Yeah, between Jawar Jordan and Woody Marks, you feel like one of them has to become like a top 15 running back in the league.
I mean, yeah, and Marks is already, you know, uh, I don't know, top 25 somewhere around there.
Hmm.
Um, and he hasn't really, he's only like really started getting prioritized with touches the last like few weeks, last handful of weeks.
Yep.
Um, oh,
All right,
yeah,
Ben, we haven't shown you the 312s talking 10 candidates for logo.
let's see him.
So these are just the candidates subject to change. But Hollywood had a genius idea because there's two that we were like on the fence about, and Hollywood was like, "Oh, well, one of them should just be before we talk sports, and the other one should be after we talk sports." So here's the 312s talking 10 before we talk sports.
Dude, that is sweet.
You're just mean mugging with a cigarette. Hollywood's like, eh, I'm just cheesing with some blush on my cheeks, apparently.
Dude, that is sweet.
All right, here's after we talk sports. This one cracks me up, dude. This one is so fucking ridiculous.
Dude, I look like Josh Allen.
Dude, you do look like
A
Josh
little bit. You
Allen.
do look like Josh Allen, yeah.
I feel like Hollywood looks like a mix between Brian Wilson and Pablo Sandoval.
Definitely has a very, especially like freaking beard and Giants hat. That's very Brian Wilson.
Uh-huh. And I
Dude, the
look
freaking
like I'm
Ike's
signing
polo
up.
is so funny.
I look like I'm signing up to be in Alice Cooper's band with like hella eyeshadow.
Yeah, dude, you're all freaking all blushed up.
Very
Yeah,
blushed
dude,
up.
those are both really good.
Yeah, I kind of like the before sports one has more attitude, I feel like.
Definitely, definitely.
See if I can put them both up. Before, after. I'm gonna see if I can feed ChatGPT some better photos of all of us to get more realistic. But and as far as the concept goes, like I like the 312 stocking 10, the vintage look. It got our
Yeah,
wardrobe spot on.
yeah, dude. It's got my freaking jacket, my freaking. It's my dude, I don't even think the hat that's going off of. I don't even freaking have that one anymore. But it was one of my favorites. Got it at like a tackle shop in Montana.
Nice. It was your Facebook profile photo.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep. What do you
yeah, dude.
think?
Those look sweet. I definitely like the first one more. The one where I look less like Josh Allen. Dude, it's so fun. Like that was like my first thought. It came out. I was like, dude, what? I look just like Josh Allen.
Yeah, dude, you didn't know that you were an NFL quarterback in another life, bro?
Dude, the version of me that's a foot taller and actually athletic.
Dude, that's funny. You do look exactly like Josh Allen.
I wouldn't say exactly like Josh Allen, but he looks
Dude,
like
it's
Josh.
pretty darn close, dude.
I don't,
Chuck, pull up Josh Allen.
All right. Let's get Josh Allen up here. Let's do a side by
Jarvis.
side.
I mean, I know what Josh Allen looks like. I'm saying it. I see similarities. I'm just saying I don't see it that much. I don't think it's. I don't think like Haley Steinfeld's gonna be like, oh my god, that's Josh Allen. That's my husband, and walk off with Ben. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, the
Dude,
key giveaway is the
rule number
nine
10 or
inches.
12 of podcasting. You never turn down an opportunity to do a side by side.
Okay, all right. I didn't know that. I'm learning.
Pull that shit up, Jamie.
Yeah, exactly. I gotta get it. Open image in a second tab. Yeah, there we go. Dude, hella doesn't want me to open up image in another tab. Come on.
Because it even knows how ridiculous the take you're trying to say is right now. Like, you think this Kadam looks like freaking Josh Allen? What the hell's wrong with you guys?
At least the AI generated version of me does.
All right, here we go.
Like I'm saying, I see similarities. I don't think it's night and day. I'm not like, oh my god, Josh Allen's on my podcast this week.
Go to Google Images and just look up Josh Allen.
There's a picture of Josh Allen right there, so I don't
Here
need to
we
go
go.
to.
Here we go, dude. Yeah, there we go. Look at the one with him and a big smile. There we go.
Oh, come on.
Hold on, go back. I had to rub my eyes, so I had my glasses off. I mean, you guys got the same creepy beard mustache going on. I'll give you that.
Dude, the teeth are like exactly the same.
Teeth are not exactly the
The
same, but
teeth are
okay.
exactly the same. Dude, that's Josh Allen wearing Ben's jacket, bro.
Okay.
Dude, what is on my hat?
Uh, your guess is as good as mine and ChatGPT's, bro. Dude, this is pretty spot on. I didn't know you looked like Josh Allen, Ben, but I guess you do.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess that's what we're telling people.
That's definitely what we're telling people.
Dude, it's a better doppelganger than the one I've gotten before, which is fucking Toby Maguire. I've
If
gotten that
Josh
one,
Allen and Tommy Maguire had a baby, it could be you, Ben. Could be you.
dude, and that one I got like twice independently. Like two different people independent of each other both told me that I looked like Toby Maguire at one point. And it was like not that far apart from each other. It was like a few months apart. I was like, dude, what is going on?
That's crazy. No collusion or anything, just
No,
this guy
no.
is Toby Maguire. Hollywood, hit us with your hottest take this week. What's just burning you up inside, bro?
Uh, I mean, if the Dodgers get Scooble, more reason why they need a cap and a floor in baseball. But I mean, I've already ranted about that, but you know,
If the
Still
Dodgers get
heated.
Scooble, are you quitting baseball?
no, I'm never going to quit baseball. But you know, I would just again, you know, and seeing because they signed Edwin Diaz, which they needed to because they needed a closer, you know, which makes sense. But then seeing that they have money deferred to like 2047, it's like what the fuck, like and again, I'm not trying to talk crap. It's just more of the system is broken. They need to try to fix the system. That is my take. You know, the Dodgers are playing within the rules. Every team could do this for whatever reason. Some teams aren't, and maybe it is more teams are willing to do it for the Dodgers because they have they have what their first four hitters are first three hitters are legit Hall of Famers right now, and the cleanup hitter is having a pretty good career and could arguably end up in the Hall of Fame also, you know, in Will Smith. So, you know, and you know, everybody wants us to talk about what God, what's his name? I always say it wrong, but the other Japanese pitcher that they have that just won MVP, uh, 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 I can't ever remember how to say his name, and I don't want to butcher it. Um, but like you know, you can make an argument after two seasons.
Yoshinobu?
Yoshinobu
Yamamoto?
Yamamoto, yeah, Yamamoto. You know, his second. You know, everybody's even putting this season comparing it to Bumgarner's 2014 season, and not to get on a tangent about Bumgarner, but he's going to get into the World Series, Hall of Fame, based off of that one World Series. So you could almost make the same argument that Yamamoto will get it based off of this one thing. So you could say they have 5 Hall of Famers on their team, or 4, potentially 5 Hall of Famers on their team right now. And so again, they're doing it within the system. They're not doing anything wrong. I just think it proves more and more that the league needs to do something to adjust. And to me, it's do a floor and do a cap. It's the simplest way to fix this problem. Or I don't even know if it'll fix the problem. It might not. It might break the problem even worse. And so that is another thing, because I want to be completely honest. Maybe it breaks the system even worse.
All I've got to say is the Mariners are winning the World Series in 2026 if the Dodgers sign Tarek Skubal. Because you know who's Tarek Skubal's daddy? The Seattle
Not
Mariners.
the Marlins.
Definitely not the Marlins.
Definitely not the Marlins. As I
100% the
butchered
Mariners.
that, but I mean the Mariners.
No, the
But I meant the
Marlins
Mariners.
are
The
hella
Marlins
not
also.
Tarek
Marlins
Skubal's daddy,
also,
dude.
but also the Mariners.
Yeah,
Did you
you might
guys
as
re-sign Josh Nader or is that a different player?
yeah, we
Or is it
re-signed
not?
Josh Naylor.
Yeah.
We let Jorge Polanco walk, so now the Mets have Polanco.
Okay.
You said Pete Alonso went to the Orioles, right?
Yeah, Pete Alonso signed with the Orioles.
Yep.
And then there's talk that they're going to move off of Lindor too. So the Mets are saying that the Mets might blow it up completely because apparently Lindor and Soto don't get along, and Nimmo. I was reading something that Nimmo, was Lindor's best friend on the team, they just got rid of him. So, um, so I'm guessing they might try to move off of Lindor too. Or basically be like, Lindor, shut there. We made it that Soto's the only possible best friend you could have on the team.
It's in the contract. You only get one best friend. I'm sorry. You can't be friends with everybody on the team.
And it has to be Soto. So we're gonna trade everybody else away. So you have to be friends with Soto.
We're gonna force this friendship, like Kobe and Shaq.
Kobe and Shaq. Kobe and Shaq.
Oh, last three-peat in American professional sports, baby.
No, isn't it technically the Yankees? Because didn't they repeat? Didn't they? Oh, no, because theirs was in 2000, 01, and 02.
Yeah,
so technically they got it.
Yeah.
No. I'm talking about the Lakers. Don't technically the Lakers have it by a couple, barely?
Probably Lakers it was, I believe, the years of the finals, obviously, the seasons are all going to be the previous year.
Yeah.
But it was the 2000, 01, and 2002 finals that the Lakers won.
So, yeah, 2000, 2001, 2002, and then the Yankees would have four-peated, I think, if they won in 2001. So technically speaking, yes, you got them by a year.
Yeah.
But that's technicality.
And my Diamondbacks were the ones that ended the Yankees' run.
They did.
That's your boy 2020, dude.
That is my boy 2020. It doesn't count. It was the COVID year. They fucking shit out of my face. I fucking get so annoyed when people say that. I just say the same thing to them every
team. My team won the finals in the bubble. Tell me about it.
I say the same thing to everybody when they say the 2020 stuff doesn't count. I was like, you can't say it doesn't. Like Ike was fucking talking hella shit the other day about it, and I looked him dead in the eyes. I was like, would it count if it was Steph? And he's like, yeah, of course it would. Then shut the fuck up. Then you're just being a hater.
I've got a take, dude. I at least this was my observation when all that started. But I have had the opinion that the driving force behind all the 2020 NBA playoffs wasn't any the bubble was weak and all that stuff. I have always felt that originated from Warriors and Steph Curry fans that were pissed that the Warriors didn't even get they weren't even in the bubble.
I wouldn't say it's that. I would say it was because the Lakers one happened. The bubble finals basically technically happened before the baseball, aside for lack of a term, the baseball bubble, right? So
Yeah,
I think it was no. It's got nothing to do with that. It's 100% because it was LeBron. If it wasn't
that
LeBron,
too. That too.
I think the whole 2020 stuff is completely viewed completely different because people want to hate LeBron like Skip Bayless made a career out of hating on LeBron James. You know what I mean? And like I've said this plenty of times. If you don't have it as, I don't care if you think Jordan's better than LeBron. I don't care if you think LeBron's better than Jordan. If you don't have those two as your number one and number two best players and basketball history, then your list is invalid to me. Like period,
Yeah,
end of conversation. Like
Then
I
you
don't
don't know
care.
ball.
Like to me, you don't know ball. Like Skip Bayless doesn't know the game of basketball because he does not put LeBron James on his thing. Or actually, here's the thing: I will say, look, he only says that to get the ratings. I
oh
would
yeah,
I would love to get him drunk and be like, where do you really rank LeBron? Like I don't care all the stuff you don't like about him. That stuff's all valid. I'm not arguing whether it's valid or not. Where do you rank him? And if you don't have him at 2, then your entire thing is invalid to me.
yeah, yeah. Well, and also too, it's always the thing of like I think, like it's always. I guess the best thing that I always go to is like it's easiest with like Tom Brady, where you're like Tom Brady is the most successful. He is the greatest quarterback of all time. Like, and there's not really like a question of it. Like career accolade, everything he did across his career, he's the greatest of all time. But but if you were to say like, oh, but who is the best? Like, who is the best quarterback you ever watched play? Like Tom Brady's not the best quarterback I've ever watched play. He might
Yeah,
not even be one of the 5 best quarterbacks I've ever watched play.
no,
Um,
I would disagree with that. He's definitely top 5 best quarterbacks I've ever seen. I would agree with the take that he's not the best quarterback because, like for example, I put Peyton at 3, and when Papa had asked me why 3, I go because he's the best quarterback I've ever seen quarterback. So I would agree
yeah,
with that take 1,000%. That like, but to say he's not, I would say I don't.
I
I
mean
mean,
Rogers, Manning. I mean Justin, like, and also too, it doesn't necessarily have to be like across a whole career because we've seen those guys like, I mean, there's even someone like freaking Cam Newton that had like those 3 or 4 years of just being like absolutely insane and jaw dropping every time he was on the field. Lamar Jackson, honestly, is a way more exciting and like
well, no, see, that's different
amazing
criteria.
talent and player.
You're saying excitement and stuff. If you want to go excitement, yeah, I would say a Cam or a LeBron or not a LeBron or a Lamar would be higher on my excitement list than a guy like Tom Brady because of the fact that you never know when either of those are like maybe not Lamar, but at least Newton. Newton could go out there and truck somebody. Like Josh Allen, I would put in that same category. Josh Allen will roll out and run a motherfucker over. So from excitement, yes, but for the sheer thing of playing quarterback, I
Fair.
can't
That's fair.
understand. Like Rogers, I'll give you because Rogers could be surgical. Obviously, there's Joe
Rogers
Montana
is the
that
greatest arm of all time. Like Rogers has the greatest arm touch, arm talent. He is the best arm of all time. Like I don't even think it's a question. Um,
I'll
like
say this off the top of my head, nobody comes to mind, so I can't. I would have a hard time arguing with that. Like that is certainly
You
that's a
think
very plausible argument. I will
you
say
think
that
Aaron Rodgers' arm is better than Brett Favre's arm?
a
yes,
thousand percent, 1,000%.
100%, 100%. I
Well,
mean,
maybe if you go
Rogers.
sheer arm, I would maybe give it to Favre, but like I would still count into Rodgers could chuck it and put it exactly where he wanted, where Favre is just chucking it and hope it goes where he wants it. So maybe off the sheer arm talent, but I would consider putting the ball where you want it as part of that conversation, to me at least. So I would agree with Ben that I can't think of much that would do that because like Bledsoe had a cannon, but like he didn't know where it was going. Like we've seen guys who like what's his name? Marino had a cannon, but did he always know where it was going?
And I
Rogers
would
is a guy.
argue
Yeah, go
And
ahead,
I
sorry,
was
Ben.
going to say, I would argue that Marino is probably like the closest arm talent to Rodgers, honestly.
Hmm.
Like just that quick release, the ball, like I don't know, especially like I don't know. Obviously, I'm a Packer fan, so I'm a little bit of a homer for my boy A-Rod, but like his the throws that he has made across his career and his like pinpoint accuracy, his ability to not give the ball to the other team, to have the best passer rating in the history of the NFL, best touchdown to interception ratio of all time, like he's as good. I mean, I think he's as good as it gets at the quarterback position, really.
Yeah. I mean,
He just didn't have the team success.
when I think of guys who like don't miss, I think of Aaron Rodgers and Peyton Manning, where it's like you could watch a whole football game and
Or
they never,
Breeze even.
yeah, like they never really missed a guy. Maybe it was a tight window and the defender got a hand on it. Maybe it just fell off the wide receiver's hands, but it's like there was always a chance for the wide receiver to catch it.
Yeah, so I'm looking
And
at the.
oftentimes only a chance for the receiver to catch it.
Right, right.
I'm
Yep.
looking at the top five. Top five is currently Rodgers, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, and then Tom Brady is five. Burrow is six, Herbert seven, Love is
Wait,
eight. So this seems like it's a more
What's the
recent
stat?
what list is
uh,
this?
career passing TDs to interception ratio.
Oh, got it, got it.
Literally looking up what we were just talking about. So it
Yeah.
seems like this is a more current thing because obviously in previous years maybe interceptions were, you know,
Oh,
like
yeah. I mean,
Kaepernick is 12th on this list.
Really?
Like I'm looking for an older player, and the oldest player, Steve Young. Steve Young is 20th. He would be the oldest player on this list.
They threw a lot of picks back in the day, dude.
Yeah, like Manning is even behind. Tyrod Taylor is on this list ahead of Matthew Stafford, Tony Romo, Matt Ryan, Andrew Luck, Tua, Kyler Murray, Philip Rivers, McNabb, Baker, Big Ben, Joe Montana. Yeah, this is crazy ass list.
yeah, and I'm not saying it's like an end all be all, but it is a pretty good representation because at the end of the day, your signal caller's ability to keep the ball in the hands of your offense is pretty crucial.
No, I agree.
How
He's,
low on that list is Jameis Winston?
it only goes to 50, and I don't think he's in the top 50.
He's probably not in the top 100.
Yeah, his ratio might be 1-to-1.
So this is minimum 1,500 pass attempts. So
He's
pretty
probably
much,
on that,
yeah, he's on here somewhere.
just lower than 50.
Yeah, just lower than 50.
So who's your top five quarterback list then, Ben?
Um,
Like of all time?
well, like greatest, I mean, still like you can't argue with Brady. Like you just can't. He's the greatest quarterback of all time, like all things considered. Um, and then after that, I don't know, like because it gets weird because again, it's that like greatest and best conversation because it's like the next greatest is probably like Montana. Whole career wise, all the stuff. Um, but like I think Aaron Rodgers is probably a better quarterback than Joe Montana.
Mm-hmm. So would you put
And
A-Rod number two?
I might, dude. I like because I only give one to Brady because of his team success, really. Like Rodgers is the greatest quarterback I've ever watched for sure. So I feel like it's like Brady, Rodgers, Montana, Peyton, and then maybe Breeze. Honestly, like I think Drew Brees was. I mean, he's the most accurate passer of all time. Extremely prolific. Has a Super Bowl. Won a Super Bowl for one of the worst organizations in all of pro sports as well, which I think always should factor in. That's why LeBron's titles with Cleveland, his title with Cleveland is definitely worth more than most titles. albeit also 3-1 lead and all the rest. But like I think I don't know, that'd probably be my list. You could shuffle some of those guys around a little bit, but I feel like it's Brady, Rogers, Manning, Montana, and Breeze.
So a question on that. There's a obvious name you did not mention.
Is it my gunslinger?
No, well, I mean, you didn't mention him, but I mean, that's beside the point.
Hold on. See if you can get Ben to guess who he left off.
Who'd you leave off the list?
It's a good. Oh, your boy Pat.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't think. And also too, I have a really hard time taking guys that are like active and not like.
You can't say that. You literally just put an active player at number one.
No. So I'm saying active and not kind of in like the twilight of their career, like when you can look at someone and say like, okay, all of their best is behind them. Like if they retired today, where would they sit? Like if Rodgers retired today, I don't change anything. Now if he if he goes and wins a freaking Super Bowl with the Steelers, which he very well could, it's a whole other thing. But if he retired today,
yeah, like I don't know who my fifth quarterback of all time is, but if he wins a Super Bowl, it's probably him. If he somehow wins that Super Bowl, because to me, if we've had this argument, we could go down this rabbit hole if you guys want to, but I was saving that for another day on the pod when we didn't know what we wanted to talk about. But if players are going to continue to play, it's got to work both ways. Like they can hurt their standing, and they can help their standing. It's got to work both ways. Otherwise, then it's whenever we just deem them something, then they're that. No matter what happens the rest of the career. Like if Patrick Mahomes doesn't win another Super Bowl, he's not the second greatest quarterback of all time, in my opinion, anymore. You know. And
so I think we should go down that rabbit hole in depth in another one. But I do want to just ask a follow-up question to you, Hollywood.
Yeah.
So Aaron Rodgers isn't in your top 5?
I don't know who number 5 is. There's too many good options for me. Because,
so
for
who
example,
are your 4?
The 4 are Brady, Mahomes. Well, I would probably put Mahomes down a spot now, so it would be Brady, Manning, Mahomes, Montana.
Okay.
Brady, Manning, Mahomes, Montana.
And obviously Peyton, not Eli. So if anybody goes crazy out there, you think Eli Manning's the second greatest quarterback of all time.
So you don't even have A-Rod in your top 5 potentially. I know you said you don't know who
I don't know who number 5 is because here's the thing. I want to be like that. Now, to me, I kind of try to do the same thing Papa Hat does. Not your Papa Hat. Nug on One does, which is players I've seen play. So since I've never seen Staubach play, I never saw Unitas play, I never saw Dan Fouts play, I never saw Bradshaw play.
Bart
Starr is another. I'm just saying people that I've seen on people's top 10 lists. I've never seen those guys play. They're just numbers. So I can't. It's hard to say like Bradshaw. I would love to say Bradshaw's 5 because of the 4 Super Bowls, but I never saw him play, so I can't really know if I would put him at 5. You know what I mean? Because remember, this is not some people don't know this. I don't know if you guys do. Nug on One probably definitely knows this. I wouldn't know because he just knows random facts about football and every sport. But you guys know Bradshaw got benched at one point, right? For a better player. Bradshaw only got the job back because that guy was a crackhead and did so much crack that he could not play.
Who?
I can't remember the guy's name, but there's a story of Bradshaw saying one time that he looked over the dude. So Bradshaw started the first couple of years of his career, then got benched for this guy, and I can't remember his name.
Was he out of USC?
I don't know. I honestly don't remember anything about him except he's a crackhead and he was African American. Those are the only 2 things I know about the guy.
Dude, the 70s and pro sports were such
crazy.
A wild time.
Yeah,
a wild time. You had Doc Ellis with his LSD no hitter.
Yeah, exactly. And so I would love to be respectful of that, but I just don't know. So potential people for the 5 spot: Favre, Rodgers. Definitely not going to discount Rodgers. Steve Young, and that might be sentimental for me.
No, dude,
Um,
I'd maybe put him top 10. I'd
yeah,
have to like think it out, but Steve Young was phenomenal.
yeah, and Drew Brees, like you said, and then to me, I would be respectful of Aikman and his three titles. So Aikman. Now Aikman is the easiest one to drop off because he doesn't have any numbers compared to the other four. So he's the easiest to drop out of this conversation. Then it's what do you prefer? Favre was the natural gunslinger. Rodgers is probably arguably the best pure quarterback of the four remaining names. But so to me, but also one thing for Rodgers that I think works against him is that they did for even if you don't want to say the Packers because the Packers had to find out about Jordan Love. Um, the Jets were like, yeah, we want nothing to do with you. Like that hurts your legacy. Like if you want to keep playing and a team's like, no, get the F out of here, like that hurts. You know what I mean?
It's the same for Favre.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, no, I don't. I
Well,
wouldn't
I
say
guess he
Favre.
retired, but still, like
I wouldn't
it's
say it's the same
still
for Favre because Favre wanted to go to the Vikings no matter what. Like that, if they just sent him to the Vikings, he would have played for the Packers and then the Vikings and then called it a
yeah.
career. So he was always going to the Vikings. It was just a matter of when did he end up on the Vikings. So Favre's a little different for me
After
than
two
Rodgers.
retirements.
Both retired. Well, he retired from the Jets to get him to release him, so he could go
Yeah.
to the Vikings. The Packers, he retired because the Packers basically were like, "We need to know about this guy. We need you to go away." And he was like, "All right, I'll retire because I don't want to play anywhere else." Then thought about it, was like, "No, I still want to play." So trade me because I think also Minnesota came like knocking on the door, like, "Hey, come play for us." And they were like, he was like, all right, I'll come play for you guys and stick it to this team that said they don't want me twice a year. And there was no way the Packers were ever going to trade him to Minnesota. So,
No.
like I said, Favre's a little different. And it's a little different for a guy like Breeze because that was in the beginning of his career when they were like, oh, we don't want you, San Diego anymore because they got Philip Rivers. Whereas if it happened at the end of his career and he was like a journeyman going around, that to me is something that should hurt legacy. You know what I mean? Like if a team doesn't want you to finish. Now, I get the double-edged sword of it, and that's what I also, it'd be one thing if the Jets had gotten a good young quarterback to play, but like they had nobody. Like if a team gets a good young quarterback, that's different. Like what the Packers did with Rodgers, I wouldn't count that against them. And Favre with going to Rodgers also, I wouldn't count against them because we need to know if this is our guy. Like you got 3-4 more years in you. We need to know if this guy's a player or not. Now, Favre had had a mediocre year with the Jets the first year, had a great year with Minnesota, and then had a crappy year. So he had one of 3 good years. So like. It would be one thing if Favre was good the last all 4 years, then you'd be like, well, you would have had a good Favre for 4 years. Maybe you let him ride it out because he was Brett Favre in that organization. But, I also understand Aaron Rodgers, hell, you have him as the best quarterback you've ever seen play, which means they obviously made the right decision moving off of him,
I think it's interesting. You don't have Patrick Mahomes in your top 5, Ben, and Hollywood doesn't have Aaron Rodgers in his top 4. He could be.
What about you? What about you, Tuck?
I agree with both of your guys. I'm just shocked neither of you guys said Philip Rivers. Like, come on.
The old man, dude.
Come
the
on,
patriarch.
Dude. No titles. Didn't have the best stats. Arguably not even a top 5 quarterback the entire time he played.
Yeah. Except that 06 season where they were the best, or 06, somewhere around there, where they were the best offensive football. And
no, but he wasn't a top 5. That was literally LaDainian Tomlinson.
Yeah,
like come on. And I'm not even knocking him. I think he's a Hall of Famer. I think he should get in. His stats obviously end up getting there, but it's an easy to keep him off of top 5. He might not even be in my top 10. Like I literally just named 9 guys that I would have ahead of him.
I was being a bit facetious, but
I know you were being a bit facetious. I'm just being a dick because you were being a dick.
Did y'all see the thing about how Rivers came out of retirement to play like right before Stafford was going to pass him on the all-time passing yards list?
He was like, hold my beer. He was like, oh, you passed me over my dead buddy.
Also, a few months before his health insurance plan
his
with
health
the
insurance
NFL was going to lapse.
So now he gets five. Even after the end of his career, he gets 5 more years. A couple people were making a comment based off of the Hall of Fame stuff because I guess in football there's a requirement they're only allowed to let 5 people in at a time. So even if they're like the ballot is stacked, I guess this is why some people haven't gotten in. That you're like, how is this person not in yet? It's because they're only allowed 5 people in, I guess, at one time.
Mm.
Um, so so people are like, oh, this will like get you to be not eligible for 5 years. So you'll miss Brady. You'll miss. There's a couple other quarterbacks who are like shoo-ins to get in, and it's
Yeah,
like so you miss these things, and then when you come back around, you're gonna be like, there's no other quarterback, so you're like the best quarterback option.
it's a good move. It's a
Yeah.
good move. He'll get in. Get in. Philip
I think
Rivers
he
was
should get.
awesome.
I think he should get in.
He has what, the seventh or eighth most passing yards of all time?
Somewhere up there. Yeah, I think he's top 10. Yeah.
He was definitely top 10 when he first retired. I don't know what he is. I don't know if anybody's like passed him or anything. Well, I guess I doubt people pass him on a career list at this point. Um,
All
and
right.
then and then you even have guys like Lamar and Josh coming along that like would probably push him even further down on my all-time ranking.
All
Oh
right,
yeah,
Like
let's
yeah.
I'd probably take Josh over Philip Rivers right now, and Lamar is Lamar's probably there too, especially if he keeps up the passing. I know he's been garbage the last few weeks since coming back from being hurt, but the pre injury stuff are probably enough to get him over. Keep him ahead of him.
Yeah, Lamar has fallen off. All right, let's land this plane because I gotta get off soon. So, two more questions or polls rather. Um, who do we think Hollywood and I are going to advance to the ship? So,
I
so
mean,
voting on Hollywood first.
I mean,
I think Hollywood is going to win this week. That's my prediction.
it's cool. I mean,
And I'm not even just
Yeah.
trying to butter you up for anything. I genuinely, because you thought for sure you weren't going to make the playoffs. Knowing you, you probably thought you weren't going to win last week. So I think
I
that
was
you're
not
going to
favored
just
to
keep on
win.
winning.
I was not favored to win. Um, uh, uh, I
Yeah,
think
dude.
I'm. I, I'm hopeful I win. I'll say that. I'll say that.
But you don't
Dude, I
think
think
you're going to win, huh?
dude, the
I'm
bus will keep
hopeful.
rolling. Dude, your flexes will carry you to victory, dude. That's my
Your
prediction.
flexes are way stronger than homegirls. I'll say that
That's
much.
true.
So Ben, you think Hollywood's going to win?
Yeah, I think he's got it. I think he's like it could very well like it probably should be close as most fantasy playoff matchups are unless you get real lucky or unlucky. But I think he's got a pretty darn good shot. I don't love homegirls team, so I think he's got a good shot.
I think Gibbs continues to struggle because he did not have a good week last week, and Montgomery is gonna vulture a TD on the goal line.
There we go.
All right, my team. You think I'm making it to the ship or not? Don't hold back.
Your your running back tandem might keep you out. Um,
Yeah, your running back tandem is pretty bad,
Are
bro.
you saying I'm cooked? Are you saying I'm cooked, dude?
No, you're not cooked because also too like both of those guys can go crazy, but like the Seahawks are ridiculous with Walker and Charbonnet. There's like no real I don't know, there's no consistency for either of them. And like Darnold's hurling the rock so nice that like they're not really like leaning on the run. And so it's not like there's ample opportunities for both of those guys. It's kind of like one of them will have a good game every couple of weeks.
Mhm.
Um, and then Aaron Jones is he's still got it. And the Vikings are I know their offense looked pretty darn good last week, but they're still, yeah, yeah. I don't know, I don't know. But Aaron Jones is versatile enough that like if they're not running the ball well, too well, he can still chip in elsewhere, and he'll be on the field. So like there'll be opportunities for him for sure.
Wow, dude. I'll take that as a consolation. My running back will be on the field.
He'll be on the field, dude. Sometimes it's all you need, dude. There's nothing worse than your fantasy players getting like a 20% snap share.
14 team league, shit happens, bro. Shit happens.
Oh
Uh,
yeah. Yeah, sometimes you have to have that guy in the lineup where you're like, dude, you know what? Maybe he catches a 70-yard touchdown this week.
yeah. I uh I do think I'm going to win, and it's going to be because the Seahawks are going to erupt on Thursday Night Football.
I hope so.
They are going
I
to
mean,
erupt.
Papa Hat is good. I was about to hear words that rarely ever come out of Hollywood's mouth. I mean, Hollywood is rooting for the Seahawks on Thursday. I need the
Yeah,
Seahawks to win so the Niners can hopefully still have the division. I shot at the division, so I
Dude,
need the Seahawks to win.
tell the Niners to not underestimate Old Man Rivers because that shit almost came back to haunt the
I
Seahawks.
mean, I certainly hope they don't underestimate Old Man Rivers with how he nearly beat your team last week.
Yeah.
To answer your question, I don't know. I like your receivers better than I like his receivers. His running backs dwarf your running backs. I would obviously take Herbert over Stroud. Um, your tight ends is kind of a toss up, even though Gobbert's been pretty consistent. I have Gobbert too, and he's been pretty consistent all year. Scary Terry has been trash to me all year, so I would take his flex over your flex. The defense that really just that's a toss up to me. I would probably lean that way of the Chiefs because they're playing the Titans and you guys are playing the Rams, and then the kicker is a wash. So I think I would have to say him if you're asking me to pick who I think
Fair
would win.
enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. We will find out in due time. All right,
I
last
will say I hope you win.
I hope you win too, Hollywood.
I hope, but I hope you win or lose by enough that if you had played Baker Mayfield instead, Baker Mayfield would have won. Just so
I
I
hope
could be like, told you, bro, told you. And
I
it doesn't
hope
matter
Baker
you
if I'm
has not
3 weeks. If I
outscored CJ Stroud in 3 weeks.
Yeah, no,
I hope
the
I
Bucks
hope
have
you
the Bucks have remembered they don't need to try to win the NFC West or this once they realize it's like, oh, we lost to the Bill or whoever the first good team was, they lost on this stretch. They're like, oh, we're not going to be the one seed. All right, all we have to do is get in. That's all that really matters.
Yeah.
I hope both of you guys lose on one start sit decision.
I mean, I'm not changing my lineup. My lineup is what it is right now. There's nobody I'm going to. The only way I switch somebody out is if is if all of a sudden it's like you
Practice
know
injury.
yeah like all of a sudden it's like Henderson gets hurt. It's like who's gonna be one of my other flexes, or Dalbo gets hurt. Who am I putting in the flex? That's the only difficult decision I really have. Or if like Montgomery's all of a sudden not gonna play, it's like all right, well, gonna start Dalbo or Henderson, and then it's like who gets that other flex spot? Like nobody. This is the lineup I'm probably rocking with the rest of the season, unless not Herbert, Burrow all of a sudden like puts one on Miami's ass. Then it's like all right, next week he plays Arizona next week. It's like, oh god, like that, like right there, that's a potential matchup. Like where I'm
Dude,
like, oh,
Burrow's contemplating retirement
yeah, I
right
know.
now.
That's why I'm probably not playing him again the rest of the season,
Burrow's
unless
not
unless
having
I
fun, dude.
have to. You know what I mean?
Burrow's having a bad time, bro.
I agree. Like I'm pretty sure I'm rocking with this team the rest of the year. Like I picked up Sean Tucker, like we had talked about the other day, Nug on one, but like he's not going to play unless something happens. You know what I mean?
All
He
right,
still plays. He still plays.
Yeah.
final hot takes.
Um, I'm really upset that Micah Parsons tore his ACL, but he's still the best defensive player in the NFL. So we'll see what happens next year, I guess.
Hmm. Yeah, that was a painful one, dude. Micah Parsons and Patrick Mahomes in the same week is wild.
Yeah.
Hollywood, hot take.
I don't know if I have one. because I haven't really been watching any basketball yet, so I don't know if like I was gonna say like, oh, the OKC is not gonna break the Warriors record, but I was like, I haven't even watched them. Well, I went to watch them live, and they put one on the Warriors' butt. Uh, um, um, um. So I was gonna say that, but I was like, I don't know if I believe that, and or also I don't know if they believe they're actually gonna do it. So I mean, they just lost to the Spurs. I know that.
Okay,
So
I'll
I don't
say
know if
mine, and I'll say mine, and then you can say yours.
sure.
If the Dodgers sign Tarek Skubal, that guarantees a Mariners World Series in 2026.
Well, wait. Are you saying sign or trade? Because they might just trade for him and not sign him yet. So you're saying trade
Trade,
or
trade,
sign?
trade,
All
trade,
right,
trade,
cool.
trade.
Because you
if
said sign
if they acquire,
if they
If they
acquire him.
if the Dodgers acquire Tarek Skubal, the Mariners are guaranteed to win the World Series in 2026.
Guaranteed to win the World Series when they can't even get out of the AL yet. But okay, good hot take there, Papa Hat. Um,
Dude, it's a hot take, bro.
I mean, it's a ridiculous hot take, but okay. Like if you want a hot take,
The Mariners are
pipe,
Tarek Skubal's
piping
daddy.
hot.
The script writes itself.
the Mariners are Terrence Group's daddy. You said that the wrong way, by the way. You said what I said. You said that he owns them, not that they own him.
No, the Mariners are Tarek Skubal's daddy. Yeah. Yeah. That means that they own him.
No, I just not what I heard the first. That's not what I heard you say. I might be wrong. I might have just heard what I wanted to hear, but hot
I
take,
said
hot
what I
take,
said. I know what I said.
hot take. God damn it, hot wrestling take. Hot take.
Oh yeah,
John
dude. What about
Cena.
what do you have to
John
say
Cena
about
is not the
Cena?
greatest of all time. How about that? No, that's not true because I don't even know if I believe that. I don't know if I mean I put him on my Mount Rushmore, but I don't know if he's the greatest of all time. So maybe that.
Dude, can the
Or
greatest of
maybe
all time
it could
tap?
be like all the people mad about him tapping out need to shut the fuck up and get over it. It's wrestling, and that's what happens. Maybe that's the hot take.
That
Blame,
sounds like a
blame the
pretty hot
script
take to me.
writers, dude.
What'd you say, Tucker? No, I know what you said. I didn't hear what
Oh
Tucker
yeah.
said.
I just said it sounds like a hot take.
It
I was gonna say, can the greatest of all time really tap that fast in their last match?
wasn't that fast. He just was in that move for hella long.
I didn't watch. I read a tweet or something and they were like, "Damn, John Cena taps faster than," and then they said some crazy shit.
I mean, he did. He was in that move. Like they did several of like him almost getting out, then going back down, him almost getting out, him going out. Going down. They did that. They did that. For a good. Yeah, he was in it for a while. I don't remember. I don't know how long, but
Who tapped him out?
Gunther.
Do you feel like Gunther is the next John Cena?
No, the next John Cena is Brock Purdy. Thank you.
There's
Bringing
your
it
hot
back.
take.
Bringing it back.
Yo,
There's
low
your
key,
take.
low key, it might be Cam Scatterboo, dude. I've heard he's been getting dirty
That's
in the
true.
ring.
I've been watching him on Twitch. He's on Twitch all the time. Well, not all the time, but I've seen him on Twitch, and I'm like, well, watching him, like, man, that guy's an interesting cat. Listening to him talk to people and all that stuff. I'll just leave it at that.
He is a crazy mofo.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta hop off, guys.
All right.
Signing out. Mussy, love you.
Love
Love
you.
you.
Miss you.